All right. And we are both live, I think.
Hey, hope so.
Happy Good Friday, people. What is going on? It has been a minute. The last word with Cognito and Ebontis returns
Woo.
from a hiatus. How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Bit of crazy about 12 hours to make sure we could actually get this thing in. Um, Honestly, just fighting with my internet. So it's one of those weird things where it was weird. I tried to get everything squared up, so streaming was good, and then like my download speed is solid. Like I have a pretty solid connection there, but my upload speed was like less than one. I was like, all right, this ain't gonna work. So it was absolute trash. So I was like trying to reset everything, and it's one of those things I didn't even think about. I don't know if it was just the computer or what, but I like did everything, resetted the router, resetted the computer. I feel like I did everything, and then finally later after I went to just literally my internet login and had them like ping my modem through their web portal. And like I was like, okay, let's see. I was walking to my house, checked with my phone. I was like, did that actually work? Like I had them do everything on there, and I did everything else, and then finally that stupid thing works. So,
wow,
you guys may have seen some delays, may have seen some questions if this was going to happen, but apparently just me handling it on my own is fine. It's the second time it's happened, so I'm still gonna have like a cable guy come out today just see if there's some
I
weird
remember you
signal
having
stuff.
this issue. I remember you having this issue before.
It happened one other time, so I'm still gonna have the guy come out and like check or clean up the signal. Who knows? But I just wish I could pay for faster uploads because right now I can get.
What you getting right now in your upload?
20.
Yeah, consider I'm assuming your download's really good. Like
My download's 400, which is like more than enough. Like I mean, you're solid. Like that's gonna do most of what you need, and it's probably faster than a lot of people's. But up being maxed at 20, and the sad thing is, even if I go to gig down, my upload only goes to 40. I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
Yeah, like, we can't even like get even if it was like 100 up, I'd be good. Sadly, I got to experience my brother's internet in Austin, and it was like gig down and up. I did my video with my nephews that one time I did it over the holidays. That thing was uploaded in like 30 seconds. It was insane. I was like, I would love that so much. How you been, man? How you doing?
It's been rough, man. I can't even lie to you, man. You know, it's been a lot of personal things going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. And, you know, we put the Lord to rest. One of the good friends of mine, salute Lord Whiskey. That was tough. I lost my aunt, and then I had some personal things. I had a procedure done, so I'm just kind of like getting back in the mix, and it's just good to talk games. You know what I'm saying? Like just to see what's going on in the gaming sphere and like looter shooter space. So it's good, man. It's good to be back. Good to be feeling like myself. You know what I'm saying? And just getting back into the swing of it. So all this kind of stuff is kind of therapeutic for me to get my mind off of negativity.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
mean
saying?
that is one of those things. Like sometimes, just on a random note, like people may give video games crap. I know they're growing in more popularity, and some people still think gaming is kind of a nerd thing. But for some people, the escapism of games is it's a real thing. Like. And that's one of those to where everybody has like different games you like and other things like that. And there's debate of like the Sekiro easy mode and all those things going on around. Or people giving certain modes a hard time. Or is this game fun? Or is this DLC crap? It's like, just have fun. I mean, that's just kind of where I want to start today. It's like, have fun, enjoy it. Life's too short. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. That's what it's about. That's literally what it's about. And for me personally, like video games have always been, there's been the gym and video games. Those have been the two that saved me. You know, those are my distractions. Those are my happy place to get you out of the whole negativity of anything that's going on. And like you said, you gotta have fun, man. You gotta have fun. Like that's what it's about. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man.
Yeah. So it's been a couple weeks. So I know last week was Arc Week. Nah, last week was Arc Week, basically. So we didn't get to talk last week. I talked a little with my brother, but I mean, you're in here now. So what were your thoughts on Arc Week for what you even got to see? Since we haven't had an official last word discussion about it.
I mean, my thoughts on Arc Week is a little different. I don't know. I think we may differ on this one. I don't know where you're gonna go with this, but like for me, Arc Week was really special because I enjoyed like, you know me, when I get meta changes, I go crazy. So you giving me all my Arc old subclasses, new life. I ran Stormcaller like crazy and with great results. You know, I ran Top Tree. I did my chain lightning thing. That felt really good. You know what I'm saying? I felt really powerful. And then I believe one of the perks to extend this super, the super lasted so much longer. I was testing it against yellow bars, the 150% damage buff. Was feeling nice. You know what I'm saying? I threw that on with like Crown of Tempest. Felt good. I did bottom tree because I was playing against some people in the Crucible who were running bottom tree, and the Arc Souls last longer, and like you can really hold down space. You know, you can really control space, and that felt good. So I felt like that was like the survivability kind of build. So I was just messing around with that. But as a whole, the event was really light. It wasn't really. I mean, yeah, Thunderlord came back, but I mean, I already had it, so it wasn't too much for me. But I was telling friends like, "Yo, this is the week. If you're on PC, you don't have it, get it." You know, that kind of thing. But the event itself was light. But for me personally, because I'm biased towards changes, I liked what they did as far as the mhm.
So okay,
Go on,
was it
yeah.
a sandbox patch or was it an event?
In my case, it was sandbox. So
but
this
that's
was
really
like,
all it was. Like that, like
yeah,
that was kind of the big thing I talked about with my brother last week a little bit was
mm-hmm.
it was a glorified it was a glorified patch. It was not
Yes.
Arc Week. They're like, oh, we're gonna have Arc bounties. Literally, like Zavala and Shaxx had
yeah, that
bounty,
was BS. That was BS.
like
yeah.
one bounty, and then you had that was one of those that I feel like had so much more. It had a lot of potential. Like, I mean, you could do so many different things with that. Arc Singe could literally be everywhere. Maybe Arc Singe isn't Crucible. You're on a level playing field. It's not like this week, which is a totally different matter. We'll get to in a little bit.
Right.
But you could have, like, Arc Singe in raids, or you could have Arc damage for you doing 100% extra damage everywhere, just to, like, mix it up for a week. They had, like, so many different options. Potentially, I don't know how their game works on the back end, but like the Singe and things like, what if even Patrol had it, like Patrol had a Singe and you just go around and just absolutely wreck stuff, or Lost Sector, anything else, like anything else besides, I mean, I don't mind the sandbox patches. Those were good. Like, sadly, it took how long to get those? It took a while, sadly, but I mean, it was good. It's good to get
But you
them.
love drip feed content, Ebontis. This is what you want.
I never said sandbox patches need to be drip fed. I talked about the sandboxes
all
before
for
Forsaken
D3.
started.
All for D3. We got a sacrifice. You know I'm going to start early.
Oh yeah. But anyway,
it may take me 2 weeks to get back into it.
No, definitely not. But yeah, it was just, I guess that was the big thing about Arc Week. We won't spend too long on it. Like, for it to be on the roadmap and not have more to it. Like, they knew what this was a while ago, because, you know, they do their data and they do their adjusting and they do their testing. Like, this is a thing for a while. And it's just, if they would have set expectations and be like, hey, this is an Arc focused sandbox patch, like, that could have been a different way to phrase it, as opposed to Arc Week and everybody's like, ooh, what's Arc Week? What could it be? Could it be anything? So it was to me, like, it was lackluster for, it should not have been on the roadmap. I think that's the biggest thing. They hyped it up. If, like, you can't compare the Revelry versus that, and they're sitting right next to each other on the roadmap.
No, I agree. What's funny, we're going to get into it. And what's funny is I'm going to surprise you with my answers in comparison with those two events. But listen, you're completely right. Like, the way they made it seem was like something was going on. And literally, like you said, you go to Shaxx and it was like, one more bounty. I mean, it's just a bounty change to Arc.
Yeah, they just made sure it matched the week. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, there was the way they were making it seem like you were going to talk to every vendor, and there would be these specific bounties, and it would be, I mean, the hottest thing. Shout out to the Drifter, like the emote, like literally the emote was the hottest thing for the event. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even an event. I don't even consider it an event.
Yeah, it
was just a subclass patch. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So.
Yeah, it was just like, this week something funny happened on the way to Arc Week or whatever. And it's like, an Arc, it's just, it didn't feel, just shouldn't have been called that. So it's like sandbox changes, things like that. Wave Splitter found its way into PC for a second. Which was quickly nullified due to contracts, I'm sure. It's out of their hands. That's just how that stuff works. So yeah, people can have Wave Splitter, but it's of no use currently. So that's out there. What's up, Kayla? Shout out to everybody in chat this morning. Thank you guys for tuning in for the early podcast, by the way.
Yes, sir.
People were, like, the pinnacle weapon break, by the way. Did you see about that, too?
No, what happened?
So there was a way to, like, pick up the pinnacle weapon. Like, I don't know if you could delete it and re-pick it up, or if you hadn't picked it up yet, you could over-pick it up. Basically, you could pick it up over and over and over, and it was always the full masterwork. So people like picked up like 9 and broke it down and got masterwork cores. So people got like 2,000 masterwork cores and like broke the economy.
I didn't even know about this hustle. Wow.
It was only up there for literally hours. I like saw a video about it, and then they did like a server side piece on their side, so where you couldn't like acquire it until they fixed it. So
they did a server side patch and they was able to fix something quick.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish they could do something with something else we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that was a thing. And then Sentry Armor getting turned off for a couple days. They did actually get that turned back on. It was just like, basically it was kind of a broken perk where you could have the armor on, get the perk, and then if you turned it off, you kept the perk for like the entire match if you didn't die, and you could absolutely just like destroy Primevals or something like that. So a couple issues happened. They were fairly quick to kind of respond and adjust where possible, and we'll talk about some things they still haven't quite adjusted quickly to. And that's the other piece with like the sandbox patch. We still don't have anything with regards to Spectral Blades. Now we get a little like tidbit about it, but
we're gonna tidbit.
And I was like, I'm even looking at the numbers, and I still question if it's enough the way that thing feels. But yeah, it's like Spectral Blades is still just rampant out there. It's still crazy. So, but yeah, Arc Week kind of a lackluster. Like the sandbox patches were cool, but it should have just been, hey, you know, enjoy these Arc changes, have fun. If you want to call it Arc Week, cool. But they shouldn't have called it Arc Week. So that was just my opinion.
I agree. Very, very lackluster in the bigger scheme of things.
Yep. Now, for what is actually probably an event, we have the Revelry. And that started on Tuesday. This is the spring event, and it goes for 3 weeks. What are your thoughts on it so far? What do you think?
Probably, you know, me and you had a mini Last Word podcast about a day ago. Was it 2 days ago?
We talked somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, the way I'm looking at this thing right now, and to be honest with you, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling. I like the whole, you know, the idea is cool, but you know where they lost me? Where you reuse the assets from Infinite. I mean, not where you're using the Infinite Forest again. I just wanted to do something different. So, like, the way I look at it is like, well, this is just, what was it? The what was the haunting? What was it called? The one we did. What was the Halloween event called?
Yeah.
It's.
I forget.
To me, this is the Haunted Forest remixed. You know, now full disclosure, I did not play. I watched. I saw your stuff. You know, I saw you playing. I saw, you know, what you were doing. But it's not. It doesn't have me engaged. It's not a new activity, right?
Yep.
So it's like, you know, that's the thing. I literally was like, eh. And for me, and what we're going to get into is, I was like, look, I'm not even worrying about this thing. And here's the other thing. Like, I really didn't care about the Arbalest. That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Shout out to, you know, Astercross, all the guys who put it through the paces, you know, because again, we were under the impression based on the perk that it would be the match game kind of like exotic, right? This is what you're going to use.
That's what I was hoping for. I really was.
Yeah. And it's like when I'm seeing the stories of people who finally get it, and again, not saying it's the worst weapon, but the potential, what we thought it could be, it was not. Right. So once I saw that, I'm like, I'm not grinding for that. And, you know, what am I going to get into? Do you want me to touch the PvP thing? I can go.
You can probably, I mean, just keep, this is your thoughts, man. Just open the door.
Yeah, listen, man. I was not, full disclosure, I was not doing the Revelry. I was like, I'm not doing it. Arbalest seems lackluster. I'm not doing Haunted Forest redo. Not doing it. I'm going to stay in comp because I've been in a good comp zone, as me and you had discussed earlier. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is really rocking. I had, I got a good loadout right now. Vigilance Wing is really feeling good. Doing my thing with that. 900 subs. I got a good bug out bag. I got the curated role, and I had another role, which is actually really good. I think it's like Zen Moment and something else, but whatever. It's been doing good. The 900 subs in either Kinetic or Energy been doing good. So I've been in a good comp space where I'm close to getting Luna on PC. So I'm playing. I'm like, all right, you know, Revelry week. I'm not paying too much to Revelry. I'm just in comp grinding. I start out, and it was a match about like 3 hunters, and they all had Shinobu Val. So I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah,
I've never seen this before in Countdown competitive. Okay. So we start the match, and, you know, I'm about to set the charge, and like literally 18 grenades just kept coming down the hallway. And I'm like, is this ever gonna stop? Like, what is going on? So I was like, okay, yo, it was so bad, E. I'm like, yo, they hacked grenades. What did they do? Somebody's got to hack. They figured something out. It's got to be with the exotic and Shinobu Vow. Somebody's doing something. So I sat there and I said, let me look at the thing. And people are telling me that they're using a buff from the Revelry that is giving them grenades. I'm like, why would a PvE centric event be able to be used and affect competitive PvP? Like, my mind's boggled on the decision process. Yeah. So I went to the forums, and I saw Reddit, and Reddit was like, we wanted to let, I think I may have been Cosmo, and he'd be like, we wanted to see how it, affected all modes.
I have a picture of that quote. Hold on. I took that.
Oh, please do. Oh, yeah, please.
I literally have been looking at that too much. All right. Mm-hmm. So, verbatim from Cosmo on Reddit. With the Revelry, we wanted to rejuvenate every activity in Destiny with a global change to the sandbox meta that lasted for a limited time. We knew this would be disruptive. Apparently not as much as they thought, but we were willing to try the experiment because the event only lasts for a few weeks. It's clear we overshot. Sounds like they over-nerfed, but they are so... They're so into their data and everything sometimes, just to a fault. Because then when they overshoot and be like, oh, we really got to nerf Nova Warp into the ground. Oh, we went too far. Instead of adding excitement and variation to the Crucible, especially in competitive, we've made the experience random and frustrating. We don't have the ability to... Random and frustrating. That's a nice way to put it.
I like that.
Broken as blank. You can fill in whatever word you choose there. We don't have the ability to immediately remove the tonics in competitive via our servers. We'll continue to investigate possible changes, but this experiment will have to run the duration of the Revelry before we can patch a change. We've learned a lot from the last 2 days of Revelry. Next time we make changes that affect the overall sandbox for a limited time, we'll ensure a much better experience for the Crucible.
All right, here's the deal. Shout out to Sad Free in the chat. Listen, man, there is no way someone should have signed off on the fact that this would be affecting competitive PvP.
Yeah.
If you want to say quick play, fine. Sure, you want to say mayhem, fine, right?
Yeah.
But competitive PvP, you are allowing a PvE-centric buff. It's inexcusable. And now they're saying because of the way it's set up, it can only be done server-side. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's just like, listen, I cannot play competitive. The whole experience is ruined.
Oh,
like,
I'm not doing ridiculous
it
right now.
I'm not doing it, bro. So just like, for me, this event completely folded me on Destiny right now. Like, all I wanted to do was play PvP because I made the commitment not to do Revelry. I didn't feel like doing that cut. I didn't feel like grinding, and this happens. So it's just like, for me, man. I'm back in my. Man, see what's going on with Division and Anthem. Like
this is time for you to play Sekiro, man. You still got that one to jump on.
I know. I see your pain, though. I don't know. I'm scared.
So this will be just a random side note. So there is a boss in that game. I mean, there's a lot of bosses in that game. A lot of them will break you. One of the early ones on is Genichiro. I'm sure I'm still probably saying that wrong. Then you'll meet him pretty quick. It's not like a big surprise. You're going to face him at some point. He's the first boss who actually made me learn like the way that game is meant to be played. And it was a struggle. Like, I had the one dude, 7 spears, just like, and I was kind of early when I found him. Killed me like 64 times, thanks to Twitch for keeping track, because I lost track. 64 deaths was crazy. But I will definitely say there is a secret boss, per se. Like, you would actually, you have to kind of go out of your way to find it. And it's like, it's the way those fights sometimes go. Like, and this is where like the patience comes into play. It's the game is not for everybody. I will totally agree. But it's like, I started this fight and just looking at this like thing that I'm fighting, I'm just like, I have no idea if I'm ever gonna be like, this feels like nothing. And then like first time, like, okay, so I got smashed. I was like, all right, that didn't work. And then it's like slowly but slowly, and you have to, the way Sekiro works, they have like little dots on top. They're like health, like lives basically. If you get a death blow, you basically take a life, and sometimes they have 2 or 3 depending. This one had 3. I'm just like, oh my god, a 3-phase fight. But I was like literally sticking with it. Took like 2 hours. I got close a couple times, but like, all right, cleared my headspace, and then like literally watched an episode of something with my wife, came back, and literally finished on like the 3rd fight. So like, yeah, the boss fight took me 2.5 hours, but like that, I know that sounds ridiculous for some, and you're like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, that's
but
insane.
on the other side, like each one of those that I kill, I'm just like, I'm better at the game. I'm smarter at it. That's like, I know what to expect.
Absolutely.
And like, and
Absolutely.
those, it was, I'm not going to say the name of the boss in case you haven't seen it, just because when you come upon it, I don't want to even spoil it in case you just want to keep it clean. But when I got there, I was just like, oh my God. Like, and it just blew me away. And then I slowly had to whittle on it, like stay back, watch, learn the fights, get in there, get smashed plenty of times. But it's like, it just slowly started coming together. And it's just my mindset from how that started to how like the fight ended, being like, all right, I can do this clean on round 2. Okay, I know this is all working. I got it. Like, and just starting to play smarter and smarter and smarter. And it was just like, that was just a really cool experience lately. And it was like, just the mindset shift of me in literally 3 hours on that game was like, there's no way in hell I'm ever going to do this. And I'm in the middle of like the final time I fought him and beat him. I'm like, all right, we got this. All right, cool. I know what's coming. All right, get the dodge in and stuff like that. And it was just like, it's the build and evolution. I was like, it just kept getting really cool. And
it's satisfying. I see you guys, and it is. Listen,
the last fight's
I
gonna break me though. I have a feeling that one that Addict's on.
All your boy wanted to do was take his vigilance wing out there. All your boy wanted to do was kill some guardians. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to use my load, my buffs. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a nice environment. I couldn't do that. Destiny couldn't provide me this because all you evil hunters out here with Shinobu vows and skip grenades going crazy, making it real salty in
Shout
there.
out to Fallout's video about this. I about fell out of my
Oh,
chair.
yeah, it's so hilarious.
Good. He's just like, are you really? You want another grenade? How about a couple over here? How about this one over here? How about a grenade? Here. Oh, you want another grenade? Okay, here. How about another grenade? Oh, you want a couple grenades? And it was just like, he was rolling. He's like, by the way, don't do this. But he's like, yeah, this is real broken. So Shinobu's Vow is probably the worst of all of them, just because it's got the bounce tracking. If you and that's just what it's capable, because you can throw and it'll track around corners and stuff like that, and that's the only one that can literally like turn a corner. Yeah, so like, for like a Titan, I can have, if I go Hellfire Heart and I'm maxed with that grenade buff, like in PvE, oh my god, I never stop hitting the Q button. So I mean, like, the grenade is really fun in PvE, but yeah, like quick play, it would have been like, okay, this is like mayhem, however you want, cool. But I was like, competitive, that was a drastic mistake. So like PvE stuff, that's like, go through random strikes, go through the raid, like you could do that type of stuff with stupid buffs, and like that stuff's kind of fun. That's what I think Arc Week could have been too, is something more of like that general overall buff to everything. Go have fun in PvE, but comp, that's it. That sidebar, like giant barrier, don't break it. Like, because I mean, especially if people are going like Lunas and Recluse and people are working on their grinds, it's broken for like 3 weeks. Yeah, it's absolutely broken for 3 weeks.
Crucible's literally ruined for me, and I'm just like, damn, I gotta wait 3 weeks. Like, I can't, and it's just nothing right now that's exciting me with the current content. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I've done, me and you talked. I didn't realize I already did, tier 3 Reckoning already.
You saw it already.
So I'm like, and I was really, I'll be honest, I really liked the Reckoning. Like, I've been having a lot of fun building that bridge, the tension, holding down the spots. It's the escalation protocol is still my number one as far as that kind of horde kind of thing. But I do like the aspect of Reckoning. You know what I'm saying? So, once I did that, then it's like, okay, cool. And me and you again had this discussion. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Gambit Prime like I thought I would be. I thought I would be really into it. And I think I'm not gonna say standard Gambit is better. I'm not gonna say that, but it's just something about it. I just still feel it's just still a little bit too over invasion heavy. And
have you played it since the patch?
I have played it since patch.
Okay.
I have played it patch. Better. It's better, yeah. But I don't know what it is. I think it's when the Primeval comes out.
Yep.
It just gets annoying to me. I get annoyed. You know what I'm saying? And then it's something about, I feel Invaders, I don't know if it's because they have their full perk sets, but like Invaders still feel strong. Like, I feel like when it was in regular Gambit, I had a couple of seconds to react or do something, right? I feel in Gambit Prime, the minute maybe it's because snipers are buffed or something, like it is insane. Like if someone got to drop, it's over. Like I feel like there's no chance to kind of counter an invader that's like a really good sniper. At least maybe this may just get good.
Map, honestly. So
yeah,
I mean that's on any map at Gambit in general. Like if somebody's a good sniper and they actually, and that's the point where it's either whether it was the see-through walls vision was like a pulse. You're like, okay, I know they're in the area. It's not like, because it's literally like the see-through walls to know when they're going to walk out to like drop that shot, whether it's, linear fusions or snipers. It's like having that constant awareness. It's not like the pulse to be like, are they coming out? And then having to actually react. You're just waiting for them to walk into your cursor and bam. So like that's the tough part about it. But I mean, like me on the other side, I'll go invade and I will absolutely get like, if the team's like orchestrate and be like, hey, we got two, we're waiting on the invader. Okay, I pop over. If they look for me, I'm done. And I've even got the full invader set with the buff. Like I went full invader, but like set. And they'll still, if they work together, dude, I'm still screwed. It's like I can put some work in on my side. I've done plenty of killing, like, and I'm not even by any stretch the best. And I've been able to do some work. Machine gun range is still crazy. Hammerhead's like the way to go.
Yeah, Hammerhead's still good.
Hammerhead's still damn good. But on the other side, if a team like looks for me, it goes like I go fast. I really do. So part of it's just like the teams if you're working together, randoms, and it's like it's the times where you have 4 versus 4 all singles. Those times are when I feel like Gambit's usually kind of around its best. There might be a good invader and I might be decent and we're kind of trading back and forth. And it all kind of depends on how the teams come together. But for me, the new Gambit Prime maps I like more than the old maps because they're the sight lines in the new maps. You do have more places to hide, like especially the Mars one. You got like, so I was like, I really like the new maps, and I wish for one, like a couple of the maps are not in Gambit, which sucks. Like normal Gambit, I wish they just bring them over. But it just feels like when you go play the first one, the one on EDZ, after playing one of the new maps, it's just like it's so open and hard to hide.
Yes, thank you. It's so wide open, the Prime. You nailed it. That's literally what my issue is. It's just so wide open, so it's like a sniper's dream. You can't get away.
And that's why I love the new maps. Like, those are honestly a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Because you got, like, different quarters to go in. Like, the one on Titan is, like, the big circle, so you don't quite know a direction, but you've also got, like, buildings, like, around for... You can kind of work the circle or go through corridors, like... The forest is literally, it's a giant open field minus the kind of buildings in the forest. You're like, it's pretty open. So depending on where they spawn, you're kind of screwed. And they're bigger maps too. Both of the Prime maps are definitely bigger. So I enjoy that aspect of it. And like the sets, like that giant, have you seen the giant blocker yet? Have you come across that boy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's a mess.
Yeah, hot mess.
Oh yeah, I had one where they were collector. We were working on protecting him, and I was invader. This is what my brother talked about at one point. It was he'd send the collector first. He actually starts draining all by himself. Then as soon as that one goes down, if we get enough deposited, then I go over with the full invader set. As soon as I invade, I shut their bank down. And either I can
I like that mechanic.
I was like, like those are cool. It's like, so then it's like I go across, shut their bank down. Then they're like, well, do I hide? Okay, if they hide, then I can go stand by it if I'm brave enough, or I can just be in there and slow them down for a while. And if I can even get 1 or 2, it's tough. So, yeah, I mean, the giant blocker, I've seen them get... there was one point, I think 4 giant blockers got sent. I've seen that. But then if somebody with a chaos reach just melted all of them. So, I mean... I've seen it can get melted through, but it's like, if you don't have that super at that moment, it's going to be a brutal little while. So, the pairing of the builds can be kind of cool. My issue is just still like... My actual issue with that, Gambit Prime is a nice evolution in most aspects of it. I like how it's 1 round. I like how it's 100 points. I kind of like having a couple more invasions. The Primeval, like mechanics where you got the 2 sets of envoys and then the 1 for the damage, the timing of that. It gives many things a lot more strategy. One of my biggest issues is all these sets I'm grinding for that I get from Reckoning don't help me in Reckoning.
Yeah, so it's like it's so niche and specific to just that mode,
and it's not even normal Gambit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's literally Gambit Prime. I'm like, literally, when I described it at one point, I was like, it's 1 bubble on your director the set works for. 1 bubble. And I'm like, not even normal Gambit. And I was like, okay, so maybe if I was going to invade, maybe I can't like drain modes because it's not Gambit Prime, but I could, with my set bonus, have improved invasion. shield.
Right.
That would still work. I could have the ammo trickle into me. And then when I come back, I can take the damage with me for the enemies that I kill. Something like 3 of the 4 perks would still work in normal Gambit, and it gives me a reason to grind for it and would give people a reason to actually want to go check out Prime. So, but just the fact that like I spend all this time, as you say, you enjoy Reckoning a lot.
Yes.
Like it's fun, Reckoning. The PvE, the tension on the bridge, which is just absolutely insane. By the way.
And that, first of all, shout out to the beat. Shout out to the beat in the Reckoning. Come on, it's kind of hot.
Got some good. Oh no, I know. Believe me, like
pumped,
their music still good.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, I guess. And I'll be honest. You know, I don't really like one chick, but I'm coming around. I'm coming around and Reckoning. Yeah, I'm coming around on the Emissary and Reckoning. I like her role in there, man. She gets me pumped up, and it feels good, man. It's just tension. Build the bridge, get over there, boom. And then what I like is just you're fully unleashed. Like I got my skull diamond car. I'm like blasting stuff. It's just, and you know, you got your warlock that's doing the thing. You got your tether hunters. Everyone is useful. And again, it's kind of like a deck of cards. Like if one person falls, and then everyone's trying to res.
Like if you don't get that res, or they die in the run between, and you're too far, and there's a big guy between you and them, be like, sorry, dude. It's like we're gonna have to hold down the fort, and you're gonna have to run back. Which, if you got 3 up, you can do it. But if one goes and another goes, if you're 2, you're done. Like it's so fast it falls. I mean, and that one specifically, like you've said, you've had good luck in your matchmaking, like getting good people paired with you. And it does seem to help if you get to tier 3 that people have an idea. I've had decent luck recently with like me and my brother will go in, like we'll usually run 2 Titans. He's running Bubble with Saint 14. I'll run the other shield for like kind of a walking cover. And then if we can get like if we can get a couple hunters or like a warlock and a hunter, and like we're good to go. But if we get just people that don't quite get the concept, you can't cross that bridge if you don't tether. Like 2 tethers is so valuable, it's insane.
Oh yeah.
Like 2 Orpheus ring tethers, 1 on either side, you barely even need to do anything besides manage snipers. Like so like it's a fun mode. But yeah, that's just the annoying thing is like, oh, I've worked so hard, I got this new set of armor. If it even just gave me like 5% health and damage bonus per set piece that I'm wearing in Reckoning, to be like, hey, you've worked harder in here. This crazy horde mode is somewhat easier. So now if you come in here as like less of a made team, at least you'll be more potent and survivable in the activity you grinded it out for. Like little pieces like that. Give me a bonus in Reckoning, because that's where I actually spend the time to get it. It should work in both, if anything. So
no, facts. I completely agree.
Yeah, somehow we got talking about all that, but things happen. But the Revelry. So we've got the Forest. My thoughts so far. So like shout out to Glad. First thing he did is they were getting up to like branch 500. So 2 things about that. And actually Tassie had a good little article out this morning kind of about the Infinite Forest keeps getting closer to what we wanted. Like Curse of Osiris sucked because the Infinite Forest was not the Infinite Forest. It was like, hey, here's a doorway to the next part of this mission. That's all it was. It was just like an extended path. So they're getting closer to kind of these horde modes and things like that, where you kind of have this continual thing. But there's the difference of previously it was like, okay, you get to this point, you do a boss. Okay, cool, you do it again. And people would get farther and farther, but got to the point of being like exorbitantly hard. They flipped it on the other side. Now the enemies are just kind of normal. If you run a decent build, like, you know, as you were saying, Skull of Dire Hamkara or Orpheus Rig Hunter, like if you have those couple people with you, they were going to branch 500 with no stop in sight. And there's a point where like there needs to be a difficulty curve at some point. Like branch 500 should be harder than branch 1, and it's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one piece of it. And the other thing is just like, what's the point in going in there? So like you have the Arbalist, which is it. I mean, in my opinion, like Cool Guy has a pretty good video out there right now. He actually does like the gun for PvP. And for me, the lackluster thing is we were talking about match game. The way the perk reads, it should have been doing more in PvE, because it says it's going to do large damage to shields and it's a kinetic weapon. And when you read the modification on match game, it says unmatched elemental damage. Not kinetic, by the way, but unmatched elemental damage is not going to do very much to shields. I forget the exact terminology. I was like, okay, so kinetic thing could be really cool. If you have match game on, this would be kind of a fun way to mix up Nightfalls if you grind this out. Nope. Like, you turn
Nope,
match
can't
game
do
on,
it.
and it takes I mean, it does, like, multiple hits when you hit them, but it still took me like, multiple shots on a red bar shielded captain. Multiple shots on
Yeah,
a
that's bad.
red bar. It's like, come on.
That's
Much
bad.
less
That's
the orange
bad.
bars. So, I mean, and it's kinetic, so it's useless against all types of shields. It's not like it's good against one. It's useless against all. Now, if match game's not on, it is powerful. Because you can pop
Right.
them, and then, like, your second shot on a head versus a captain is like 113,000. It is a bonkers amount of damage when it perks right. But as currently, especially now, later on, when we get to next season, when we bump to 750 power level and the handicap isn't quite as high required, then you could probably go without match game and have some fun with that one. But right now, as match game's kind of your way to get to a 4 times multiplier. For me, it's just, it sucked the wind out of what I was hoping it would be. Like, I used it in PvP. I got a couple crispy kind of, fusion snipes on headshots, and it's kind of cool. But like, as I think Cool Guy was saying, it has some benefits where, like, if you break a shield, your next one, if you turn around and shoot him again in a body, you can kill him. Even a super, like, if you headshot him in a super and then body him, that's 2 from range where you can kill him with this gun, which is some power to it. But it's just it's a kinetic linear fusion rifle. It does use special ammo, so you'll get your ammo a lot more, which is good. But in general, it's not over the top amazing, which, again, more hype than it has a very niche use. So,
No, I agree. It's very niche. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got that.
And
That
again,
takes. No, go ahead.
just to cut you. I mean, it's again, I just couldn't get enthused, man. Like, I just couldn't get up for the event. Even with the other stuff we had, Thorn, we had Last Word. And again, it's not like the Arbiter is the worst thing ever, but it's just like you said, it's just very mediocre, very lackluster. And I just didn't feel this gameplay loop of what they wanted me to do for this one. That's pretty much what it came down to for the Revelry.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had that thing pretty much day one. Didn't take that long. There are 7 triumphs. If you're punching stuff while you go through the forest, do a few strikes, get a couple bounties done.
Right.
Generally, it doesn't take that much effort to get if you can kill the 5 bosses each time. And if you don't use the buff, or even if you do, I mean, spend a little longer in there, do a couple runs. As long as you're not spending an hour per run, you'll eventually get it, and it's not that. But we have this thing for 3 weeks. Now, I know, like, sometimes the events, people are like, oh, but I'm out of town this week and I'm going to miss it. Okay, then fine, like, keep it, maybe 2 weeks, but 3 weeks for this thing is way too long. The secondly, because there's nothing to grind for. There's nothing to grind for besides the gun.
Why is it this long? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a perfect example. Perfect example. It's not like they also have multiple things to chase.
No, there's
what I'm
not
saying?
like,
It's like,
hey, here's the cool armor. Is it Eververse? Sadly, of the whatever the vernal growth, I think is what it's called. I actually kind of like the look of that one. The antler ornaments are in that stupid little box at Ava that is RNG, and I forget who in my chat. I think it was SK3001. He was telling me he had 500 essence, and he finally got it. And he has like 3 essence now or something like that. So you had to literally spend all that essence just to try and get the ornament for your helm. And I don't even think that buff lasts past the event. Or like the cosmetic. Doesn't even last after the event. And I'm just like, if I'm going to grind this stuff out, at least let me like enjoy these antlers later on. People could be like, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, there was this cool event. Yeah, as of now, the ornaments don't last past the event, as Drifter's saying. It's just like, why do those have to stop being functional? Like, if I'm gonna grind it out, and like if I'm gonna have 3 weeks to like spend some time in the forest and keep getting all this essence and try and at least get one of these sets of ornaments, let me enjoy them later. There's no reason that should be short-lived. They look cool,
big mistake.
But like no. Only work in Revelry. They did the same. They did the same for the Dawning Sparrow. I'm glad the Dawning Sparrow stopped doing its thing, because that noise when you drive the Dawning Sparrow around is just annoying as hell. The ching, ching, ching. It's like it never. But yeah, the antlers just like, it's a cosmetic glow. It's like chroma that lasts for 3 weeks, and I'm like, so it's like they've had some misses lately. It's like, and that's why Season of the Drifters, we kind of knew it was a low point. They may have planned this around Division and Anthem and all this other stuff going on to be, a smaller pull. Now, on the other side, the lore that we've had for the Drifter, the Invitations of the Nine, those have been cool just to see the glimpses of this, like, continual building story. Like, that piece I've really started to, like, kind of enjoy, wait for it. Now, I know, sadly, we got the hype of the cinematic in week 1. I don't know when the next one's going to be. but they have been cool. Like this last week, they kind of broke the fourth wall, which was hilarious.
Yes.
So I mean, that stuff's been fun, and I've enjoyed that. And also, like, Xur finally getting a little more Forsaken functionality, and now the Faded Ingram has Forsaken exotics in there now, so if you're missing anything, start buying those. They're building other stuff, but it's like the lore of the Drifter, and then they have the... if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out the Season of the Drifter, the story of the Drifter, about the developer insights, and you got Lars Bakken, and I never remember the other guy in there. I gotta look real quick.
I remember
I
talking
want
about.
to call him out by name.
He's like, I gotta call him out. Let's look it up.
So you got the writers. Where are they at? I'm trying to find there. Blake Battle. So production lead, and then Lars Bakken, creative lead. You've seen them in videos before, sitting next to each other.
Yeah, you see, those guys have been out there.
But yeah, I mean, they're really hyped about the Drifter and the lore behind him, and what he's talking about is really, really cool. Like, it's got a chance to, like, he's been around one of the oldest light bearers that we've got in the entire Destiny universe. He's seen some stuff. He thinks there's more stuff coming, like building all the stuff up, and this is the stuff that I hope they continue to work on, because we haven't seen Uldren. We don't know what's going on with Marsov. Uldren's deal, or now we've got the Drifter talking with the Nine, building up all this craziness. Like, they're setting up a bunch of stuff. I really want the payoff at this point. But I mean, I really enjoyed the lore piece of that for Drifter, but these last couple events for me have been like, well, for one was just a patch, one was not an event, and then two, wait, Lord of Wolves, Xur can give it to you in a Faded Engram?
That's what I need confirmation.
He got it last week?
Bro, don't say that, Drifter, because I've been hunting. I've been on my hunt. I talked to E about this. I've been doing them damn spotted bounties. I don't have the Lord of Wolves on PC, and I need that very, very much. Look, I'm LordCognito. The Lord must have the Lord. So I need that gun, and you're telling me I need confirmation. He said I got it last week from a Xur Faded Engram?
Apparently. Give it a
shot, man. Here we go. Time to get them shards going, bro. Yeah, post it on Twitter, please. Oh, please put that up.
So yeah, if you guys are missing anything from Forsaken, apparently hit up that Faded Engram. It's working. That was patched literally this week.
WD Prescott YouTube, bro. I'm hitting it, y'all.
There you go.
Baby, I'm going shard hunting, baby. That's it. That's where we going. Wow, that's crazy, man. I need that gun too. Nice.
So yeah, apparently Xur has you hyped up a little bit, if nothing else, to get that gun, and it's powerful right now. Like, Lord of Wolves is seriously putting out some damage lately. But yeah, the Bungie developer insights, definitely check that one out. If you have any interest just in the lore at all, check it out. It's really, really cool. Just there's little bits of cinematic or like frames from that video that I want to I'm waiting for them to show up, because there's some cool shots that I'm like, when is this actually going to happen? If there's one other cinematic that looks like between the Drifter and the Emissary, like, there's something that we're going to see later on that looks really, really cool.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, I mean, the Revelry is going for 3 weeks. We've got the Forest, if you want to grind out and have some fun. Crucible's very busted right now. Quick play is kind of goofy and fun, but competitive is just broken. You got any more thoughts with regards to the Revelry?
Yeah, the only thing is, that we got to that, like, you brought it to my attention, and it really scared me in the sense that after the Revelry, I know we're going to talk about Banana next, right? But after that, I looked at that calendar and wasn't really excited about. I didn't see anything else.
No, there's nothing else.
So we're literally April 19th.
Yep.
Right? The month of May doesn't have any plan that I saw. You know what I'm saying? So I am concerned. Mr. Drip Feed, you continue. Please tell us what's happening.
There's really not much. I mean, we've got... we're at the point where if you look over Season of the Drifter, we have seen everything. I mean, their plan is March. You got all the maps, the invitations launching, Gambit Prime maps going. April 9th is Arc Week. April 16th through May 6th is the Revelry. But yeah, May to... what I've got to assume is going to be June 4th for the launch of Opulence, if they stick to their typical schedule of the start of each of the new month. Like, June 4th is the first Tuesday. So, I mean, you've got basically a full 28 days of nothing?
I find this a little surprising. Only from the standpoint, look, I know I'm teasing about the Drip Feed stuff, but this seems... I would be shocked. We're gonna go a whole month without any type of weekly event, or we don't got faction rally, obviously, still.
Nope.
Like, really? Like, we really gonna go 30 days, basically almost 30 days, without some type of theme week of something based on the content structure. And that's concerning. That's very concerning. I've never seen this from them. You know what I'm saying? And I know usually, well, when you figure the hype cycle for Opulence would be.
I mean, the way they've been doing it before, the week before. So, I mean, if you go Tuesdays, like first Tuesday of June is June 4th. So, I mean, we're probably looking at either May 23rd or May 30th, because they don't tend to give a lot of pre-hype to these annual pass pieces. Now, they're probably going to start talking about some stuff, because we've got new raid, which we're not going to know anything about until it launches. We've got the 6-player match made activity, and then 2 redacted items. So there are things in that annual pass that they're going to want to start talking about. The main thing, I mean, people are going out to, I don't know when the community sub it is, if it's now or if it happened already. I lost track of that one at some point. So, I mean, people are going out to kind of see it, get a feel, maybe get some final finishing touches. So they might be just using that time to, iron that thing out. I don't know if they're looking at what's coming next after Season of Opulence. But either way, maybe a week or two before, the 23rd would be the first TWAB that I would expect a whole lot to come. And then the 30th would be the final kind of setup before basically the next season. So we don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, that's a weird. One would think that during this period there's going to be something.
It already happened.
Right?
I figured it did.
Yeah. Like there's going to be some surprise next week, and they're gonna like say, hey, it would be nice to be a nice little faction rally. But something, just some type of weekly event or something to get us. You can't. I find it hard to believe that they're going to really let go that amount of time without some type of event.
Now, somebody,
and I've never seen this before.
In chat, if you can confirm, I can't remember. Is the Arbalest the exotic quest? Because it's not really set up in a quest format. You literally just buy the thing. But there's a free update for everyone that says exotic quest.
Right.
So I don't. So I know what was it Thorn? That's a quest. That's a quest path, multiple steps, all those things to it. That's fine. And then you've got, in the free seasonal update, you've got exotic quest. Again, sitting up there that we haven't seen yet. So, I mean, outside of, as you said, Iron Banner, which is going to be over the next month, maybe there's an exotic quest that they throw in. Maybe there's
got to be.
I mean, listen, the only thing that I'm not thinking that could be there, because I don't know if the Arbalest is considered a quest.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be because there's no way they can go that length. So I think they probably kick off some type of exotic quest where maybe they probably drip freed it. But at the end of the day, it's got to be a chase. They can't leave us just not doing anything. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, shout out to Halo Bearer. There's a classified kinetic exotic in collection, so I'm hoping there is something other than Arbalest.
There we go. So, I mean, and it seems, I mean, they've phrased it, if they stick with their messaging, Last Word was a quest. Thorn was a quest. This free exotic quest for everybody, and then the one next season, we have 2 more full quest lines that should be its own thing. So that's just one of my pieces of that. Maybe one piece, like that'd be awesome if they had something planned of the Whisper level of this kind of secret thing going. If they had anything to that level, that'd be kind of a cool thing to find for that last little week in between Iron Banner and stuff, and a reason to come back. I do not want Gallahorn back in the game. I do not want it.
Oh yeah, he's on his bowler horn thing. He wants that bad. Like,
and then said, for spoilers, it's going to be another hand cannon. Can we get another type of gun, please? Yeah. Oh my god! Like whether it's a pulse, which is what is in the meta right now, I would love a scout that was actually good. Oxygen is meh. Like this, even just the Vanguard scout was not that much. I don't know. Yeah, give me another exotic that's actually like a different meta. I am definitely getting tired of everything being. I mean, I enjoy hand cannons at times, but dude, let me have some other fun.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much, bro.
Zalo Supercell. I would take that back. I would see. You want to hype up Arc Week? That's how you hype up Arc Week.
That's how, Zalo
That's
would have
how
came.
you hype up Arc Week. Not Thunderlord, not a quest we've already had, like, at another event in this game. Bring a new weapon back. Give me a quest to get it. Give me something crazy to go through. That would have been a fun way to hype Arc Week, and then let that quest go for, like, another few weeks or something like that for the season. But right now, no. So, I was like, we're looking at the calendar, and we're trying to figure out what remains, and until they tell us something, I don't know. I don't know, but honestly, that's one of those times where that's one of the reasons I started this discussion this way, was to say, hey, if you're not having fun, if comp is broken, or if you're not enjoying the Revelry or whatever it is, there are like so many other games out there right now. Take a breather, clear your head of Destiny, and sometimes, and honestly, sometimes with Destiny, that's a good thing, because we live in the world of Destiny, especially people like us who are in here all the time. And then when you take a little break and you come back and you shoot the guns again and you throw your abilities, you're like, yeah, this game's still, damn it, it's a lot of fun. Like, so it's nice to have those little spaces just to get you a little refresher.
Ebontis pushing his agenda, y'all.
Hey, I'm not the only one.
Pushing his agenda.
You out there on Twitter being like linking Paul Tassie's article, and he'd be like,
I am not for this. I've been on the record. I want my hobby game. This sucks. Like, I'm not about this. I am not about this at all.
We don't need to rehash this. But I was like, but all I want to say is just like, sometimes it's okay to clear your head of something, so when you come back, it's a little refreshed. Just as we're gonna have 4 weeks of clearing. I'm gonna be fresh in 4 weeks. There you go. Then you'll have time to play the Division raid, and then when you come back for Opulence, you'll be rejuvenated a little bit. So, drip. It's not like stepping away is the end of the world. Jesus.
Listen, man, I want my hobby game. I want my full life, full-time job game. All right, this is what I like to do. It's my happy place. Why are you taking my drug from me?
I'm not taking it away. It's just you can't always expect something new to get tacked on.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. No, that's the point. You need realistic expectations for the developers.
No, they need to do better. There's not no real. They need to do better. This is trash. And they talk about 3 weeks before they could fix something that shouldn't have been in a PvP event. Or we about to go. It's about to be the last word rematch right now.
But I mean, okay, so like, what other games match Destiny's, like, whether it is the DLCs or the annual passes, what other games have continued to keep you engaged this long? At some point, Bungie has to be able to take a breath.
Okay, how much breath you want? You want 2 more months? How much breath you want?
Like, it depends on what size of content we're going for. I told you, honestly, as we keep hearing about PS5 and what it's going to do in 2020, like, there's a point where it's like, if they low-key maintain this thing, like, for a little while, if it was another, like, annual pass or, like, a mini front-loaded, like, Rise of Iron with a little drip feed stuff over the season for them to be like... And honestly, like, I know there's a point where I know you're not a fan of that. And I know a lot of people really like the bigger stuff. So if you get, say, it's a Rise of Iron in September... and then you get the 9 months of drought until, say, Destiny 3. However they do it, whether it's annual, whether it's mini Rise of Iron, whatever version they have it, I just want Luke Smith to come on camera, specifically, like some high person up there, and say, this is what we're working on as a studio. We want you guys to enjoy this piece of content. We know it's not everything that you guys have come to expect. But what we want to do is take this time and focus on whatever, and just come out and lay the plan, because right now it's just a huge question mark of what comes next. Yeah. And it's like, if 90% of the studio's working on D3, tell us. At least let us know that's what you're doing. If Rise of Iron is coming, and then
the situation.
Which
compounds the situation.
Yeah, but it's like, or if it's like, hey, we do want to put out something. We know, like, the annual passes maybe not as well received. We want to give you guys a dump of stuff in September. We'll have the live team give you guys a few live events here and there. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing for you. If you get your Rise of Iron in September and you don't get an annual pass, are you okay waiting till, say, end of 20? I know, I'm asking, like, where is your line that it's like, if you get your Rise of Iron, when do you expect something else? Because that's what you prefer. You want your Comet, but potentially, even if it's not Comet, your mini Comet of, like, Rise of Iron. If you get that in September, when do you want something else?
If I get a Rise of Iron in September, right, and then they come out at the top of 2020 and say, hey, all hands are on deck for Destiny 3, this is when we plan on releasing it, and then you set the community up with expectation as to why there is drought, right?
Yep.
this current structure, they're trying to finesse us. They're trying to act like, oh my God, look at this roadmap. Look at all these things. It's Arc Week and it's Revelry and it's fluff and it's BS. It's nothing substantial. You yourself just laughed at Arc Week. You yourself were just not really enthused by none of this Revelry stuff. So again, this to me,
I mean, in
is
fairness,
them.
most seasonal events are pretty lackluster to me anyway. So.
Not like this. This is the worst. This is the worst. They give literally they give us an exotic and tell us to go away. They give us, a 1 week event and tell you to go away. It's literally just trying to hold us off. This is time gating, man. It's bad business. And then it's very not inclusive because then they're making you buy the annual pass. Like, say if we didn't buy, say if we like, yo, I don't like this, right? You're not getting any of that new stuff. You're not getting it. Let's say you want it. You're not getting it. You get the sandbox updates. It's sad times, man. It's really sad. It's sad right now for me that, again, do I expect every week, everything? Of course there's going to be down times. I know that. I'm not going to be, unrealistic, but this just is so flimsy. It's so weak. It's just, I've never seen Destiny like this.
Then back to my question. If not an annual pass, if not this like, hey, here's a little bit here and there until we get to what maybe we're working on. If you get a Rise of Iron, what if D3 is not September? What if it's like February of 2021?
I don't think that affects it. See, we're going back into our fundamental difference. But the idea of that it's one or the other, you know what I'm saying? It's like I just don't subscribe to it. I just think it just comes down to transparency with your base. Tell your base what's going on, right? Right now, they're acting like they're giving us content. Me and you both know as a man, if you want to put a gun to your head, this is not substantial content. This is not. There's just the facts of it, right? So now we come into potential September where, again, we may get another annual pass. We shall see. You know what I'm saying? And there's just no enthusiasm. There's no enthusiasm to continue forward. And it just, you're putting so much stock on, wait. They're doing, they have to have that D3 right. If they're not maintaining some type of a level of quality, and like, what confidence do you have that when D3 happens, it's definitely going to be this home run? It's definitely going to be when they're not establishing levels of decency now. They're not even giving us vendor refreshes. Like, we haven't gotten a vendor refresh. And I don't want to hear about old resources for a vendor refresh. Like, come on. It's just the little things they're slacking now. So I know I'm very concerned. Very concerned, man. This type of structure, maybe when the redacted comes out, I get to eat my words and they have this juicy content and it's nice. But for now, it's tough. It's tough out here, man. It's really tough. Gotta be honest.
No, I mean, no, it's like, and I'm not, some of those points I'm really not arguing. That's really not what I'm getting to. But at that's why I've been, I like, what's the answer to your question? Like, how far is okay? So if you get your preferred chunk that you enjoy,
yeah,
you get a Taken King. Then you have awesome. Forsaken, awesome. Large pieces of content, not easy to develop, but if they do focus on that, then what if they say, hey, we want to give you guys this. This is going to be coming out in September. This is their little announcement, say like post E3, whatever they want to do.
That's all they got to do.
No, okay, no. And then if they say that and they say, okay, then September's coming, we're going to work on D3 till it's ready. This is what we want to give you, the live, and that's it. You're good. No matter how long, even if it's like a year and a half.
Perfect, because they told me. Right now, they're acting like we have content, but we don't have content, and we still don't know what's going on. There's still this lack of communication. I think that's always been their Achilles heel, right? They always struggle with communicating with the base on what's exactly going on, and they have to do something about that. As long as you just be transparent and say this is what's happening. And we're going to get into the division. We're going to get into Anthem and stuff like that coming up and see how they're handling stuff. It's just, they've got to do better. They've got to do better.
Like, you answered my question. So you're telling me, like, if they say, hey, September, you're going to get your comment check. And then until Destiny 3 is ready, even if we delay it till like March of 2021, Like we're going, you're okay with that. So okay, then
I'm okay.
So then you have a drought of nothing. You have your
fine with
content,
that.
you know you're going to burn through in September, and you're going to tell me like 6 months after Rise of Iron 2, you're okay with nothing new between now. As opposed to, I'm just asking. If you are, then cool. Yeah. That's all I'm asking. If you are, then
I'm
cool.
absolutely. I'm okay cool. with a big comet in September. Say springtime, you do some light, you do the BS that they're doing now, right? Which is the Revelry, this, that, right?
Your tiny live events, but say you just get the Dawning, Crimson Days, the Revelry, and Solstice, and that's all you get.
Solstice, and you end it with the Solstice of Heroes. This is what we did. We stopped Gaul. We did this.
And then in September, they're like, hey, we want to delay Destiny 3 until March of 2021.
No, it ain't gonna. There's no 2021. It's gonna. There's going to be.
This is where I'm saying what, and then that's why you sit there and you'd be like, hey, these live events. I'm like, what if they literally give you Comet and they stop? Like they'll have the live team to make sure things like.
There's no way. We acting like it's impossible.
No, I'm saying what. I'm asking you the what ifs. Like you just said, you're like, okay, so if I do Rise of Iron, and you said, yeah, I'm okay waiting. I was like a year and a half, and then you're okay, and then you turn around and you say you want this and this and this. So it was like. It is just one of those things. You're like, I do want the Comet, but I also want the live service. But
no, they could literally give me Comet and give me nothing as long as they told me that at the top of 2020, nothing's coming. All hands are on deck for the next generation consoles for D3. Shout out to Game & Forte. He said, damn, I'm late. I see you guys still agree on the same side.
As always. So
shout out to Forte.
Yeah, but if PS5 comes out in September, and then they're like, hey, maybe not September. You've got, maybe they're like, maybe it's not ready. And this is the point where Bungie gets to make that call and be like, maybe it's not going to be at launch. Maybe you want to wait till January, February, let the holidays call down. We're going to launch Destiny 3 in February of 2021. Cool. And if you're there up front with that, that's all I've been trying to ask is like, if you get that break, and that's what this is why I was like, your side or my side, annual pass, content, yay, nay, little, big, whatever. I just want the transparency. And I think you and I definitely agree on that.
We both agree on that.
We just want to know that like, hey, if all hands are on deck for D3, cool. Just tell us.
Right. Yeah, just don't not tell me why you can't do event refresh. Don't not tell me why you can't fix a gun in a why you can't fix this PvE glitch in a PvB competitive. It's just why for the whole month of May we don't see one event going on to transition us between this and opulence. You know what I'm saying? So, the poll's in my favor, Forte. Thank you for asking.
I'm not honestly. I'm not surprised on that one, but there's a caveat to say now, and this is where you always say resources don't matter. If they do, and if I did that poll again and say if you got Comet, it pushes D3 farther out.
I don't think that.
No, I'm saying again, if they do not. Okay, what they were able to put out before when you had Forsaken, they had two other studios. They had High Moon. And they had Vicarious Visions to help with the content they got. Vicarious Visions is making Season of Opulence. So when you post
here's the thing to that whole argument I'm not buying. You're acting like D3 D3 was in development when D2 was launched.
I'm not saying it's not, but how did I know, but these other two that have had a short development cycle have had some issues. So it's just
I don't even feel it had to listen, let's be real. D2 wasn't that it wasn't a quality product. They made a philosophical change to cater to casual gamers. That's their call. They blew that on their own. If you look at the content in itself, Leviathan, the story, the game itself was good. They just made a stupid decision to say, we're going to cater to this mass that we don't know about and, make it to these people who eliminate our hardcore. That was the issue. If they would have literally launched D2 with all the features of D1, we wouldn't even have this discussion. So I'm not buying that D2 was rushed. They made a tactical error. That's the issue. So I'm not going to hear this, the resources and they can't do it. Stop holding their hands. This is a grown studio. This ain't no indie studio. This ain't no little Devolver Digital. This is Bungie. This is a huge company, bro. Stop holding their hand. Hold them to the fire. They can give us a comment and give us in 2020 a GAM D3. I'm not going to let this go, man. I'm not letting it go. You acting like this is some small little rinky-dink studio. It's not. How many employees they got? Bro, they've been working on D3 since this thing launched. Since D2 launch, Luke Smith has been in a cave somewhere. Him and the other dude.
My only piece is ever. So it's like, I know that's what you want. I know they're a huge studio, but I'm just asking if it does take if they give you Comet, if they give you that piece, if that size, if that made them like, hey, if we're going to put the resources towards this, it's going to push D3 farther. And you say it's not, which is fine. But if it did, would that be something that you would rather trade a Comet for a sooner D3? If that was actually if you had to make that trade, not saying if they have 6,000 employees or 50, which I'm sure they probably have easily more than 500, but again, all those pieces and artists and everything else, like, if you had to make the call, would you rather have a Comet and a later D3, or would you rather have something smaller in a suit? Which do you look forward to more? Do you look forward to Comet, or do you look forward to D3 more?
I think the issue that me and you will always have is I don't think that it has that relationship, that it has to be one or the other. I really don't. I think that's where we break. I understand where you're going with it, but I still think that it's possible to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I know your argument is resources. My argument is studio side, and that they're just not an entity that can't do it. Yes, I do understand Vicarious is not there with the PC stuff and all that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they can literally say, hey, Comet at the end of the year, yo, we're giving you the update on D2, tentative September 2020. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Now, let's say you get close to 2020, right? I'll give you your, right? You say you get close to September 2020 and like, it's not ready yet, right? They can literally give us and say, hey, annual pass, because we're still working on this for this. And then, boom, you're going to get it at the top of 2021. I think that as long as they communicate where they are in stages of development,
you always have to. My point is that you always feel like you have to have something. And that's why I'm saying if it's no. At some point, okay, no, if you get your Comet, and if they're working on D3, so say you get both your wishes, but then they say, hey, D3, we're not ready. It's good. We're like 3 or 4 months out. It's not going to be ready for the holidays. We want to do it in February. At this point, we're just going to focus down. The live service team is just going to like maintain what's left in D2, about 4 or 5 months, and then you might get D3. If you don't get anything in those 4 or 5 months, is that something you're okay with?
I'm fine with that as long as they're transparent.
Okay. So
as long as they tell me
that's what I keep asking. If you get your Comet, and then there's this like 16-month break of and then D3, if they say what's going on,
I gotta be 16 months though.
I'm pushing it into 2021. That's how I'm getting there.
Clearly, you're pushing it, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if that is what happens, then that's what I'm asking. So, see Forte, Comet in 2019, Destiny 3 2021. That's fine for me. And that's again, if we get a bigger piece. And if it does force it to be pushed, that's literally mostly my whole point of this whole thing. Right. Everybody loves the Comets because they're bigger, they're a bigger chunk. Right. And if you take a break, you might go play something else. But if there's a point where you get like a September, or you get a time where there is nothing because they don't have the Activision hell or high, hold their feet to the fire. It is September 4th, whatever. Right. If you have that push, they have that freedom.
No, I get it. The main thing is consistency, transparency. You can't run a live service game and have tremendous gaps without communicating with your base, right? This is a live service game. This is just what this is. This is what we are. So, as long as they communicate that, and I still think they can do their annual pass stuff, because at the end of the day, no one's going to convince me that what we're getting right now is maximum effort. That what we're getting right now is so hard for them to do and put together. I'm not trying to disrespect any developer. I'm not trying to act like I know how to make content. All I'm trying to say is the current state that we're in is so lackluster, is so weak, it's so flimsy, it's so time-gated, right? That there's no way you can tell me this is quality content that guys are working hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't buy that based on what's going on. Now, if that's the case, then, and we're getting this, and then because they're working on D3 got to be ready. Because this trash that's going on right now, you clearly not using all hands on deck now.
So you're saying if you get another annual pass, D3 has to be
D3
September.
got to be lit now. That's how I'm looking at it, because you can't even update a game because of grenade buffs in the Revelry. You can't even tell me what's going on for a whole May. That's what I'm trying to say. They can do both. They're clearly not focusing on D2 right now. So they're doing something with D3. That's what I'm trying to say. D3 is not as far out and is going to be as delayed as we think. That's all I'm saying.
So if we get an annual pass, you're saying September's got to be like new console launch. Now,
yeah, if you're giving me annual pass again, I don't want to hear about no delay.
And I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. Like, if you get another annual pass and be like, hey, we're getting this slow maintenance. It's a front-loaded annual pass. Yeah. We're shooting for, like, we want to go new console. So here's a question. Drifter, do you want D3 to be cross-generation, or do you just want it on...
good question.
Just like on next-gen consoles and PC?
My prediction that is going to be cross-generation, because the article that came out with the PlayStation, with Sony blocking the cross-progression from, PC and Xbox and all that stuff. Here's the thing. When any new generation starts, just like D1, right? It was on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yep.
Right. So they're not going to abandon, 80 million PlayStation 4s out here, 90, 40 to 35 Xbox Ones, a brand new PC base. They're not going to abandon that. So this is coming out on the way these consoles are going to be. They're going to be scalable. PlayStation 4 and Xbox will be the lower end. And your high-end PC, kind of experience will be what PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlet or whatever it is. And they'll have that transfer. And especially now that the Activision stuff is over, because that will end the Sony exclusivity deal. And hopefully, it definitely, because Wave Splitter, we already seen we've been getting that, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of block
and that's like the last exclusive. It should be. We hope.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're assuming their contracts with Activision, so...
There's no doubt they're going to be fine, man. They're going to be fine. This thing is going to be able to be scalable on certain levels. Now, it's going to look phenomenal on the new consoles, but I definitely think that. But if what the rumors are, which is they come out with the annual pass again, there's no excuse to me. There's no excuse based on cadence and what's in effort.
Can you imagine, honestly, a launch Destiny being a next gen launch title though? Can you that would be, it would be
that's a good question.
I was like, can you imagine that actually being like, hey, we're out and within I don't know, a week, maybe two, first month timing of like PS5 is I don't know, what are they, like late October, early November is when they seem to do consoles.
Yeah.
Do you put yourself in that place?
It's a good question. It comes down to one, if the game is ready, the game needs. But, Destiny's been around the block enough that it's a lot of pressure to launch with a new console, no doubt. There's no doubt. I will say this, as an Xbox fan, we got some tidbits recently, because, Microsoft with the whole xCloud and streaming and on device and stuff. Yeah. I'm going to let y'all know right now, Phil Spencer is a huge Destiny fan. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I will tell, he's been testing Destiny, because how they had the X thing, and then they got the phone with the controller bit, and they're doing that cloud as an option. He's been testing Destiny in Japan remotely on this thing through xCloud. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to drop a money bag off. Not that they're going to do the exclusivity with the exotics and the maps, but the marketing deal. Remember how Sony at least just had the marketing deal? So you just show it on our stage, right? It's still cross-platform. It's still everywhere else. I wouldn't be surprised. Destiny is still a hot commodity that they would want to back. And Phil Spencer is the type that he's not about locking content. He said this many times. A lot of Xbox fans get mad at this, because when Xbox guys get the marketing deal, they be like, we should get exclusive like how Sony got it. He's like, nah, I don't believe in the content and stuff like that. Look at Division. They technically have the marketing deal with that. They don't do that kind of stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? And lock PlayStation guys. I could see them dropping the bag off. And that bag, good substantial of money, could go to Bungie, help them with what they got to do. I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Should be interesting. But yeah, it's it should be interesting, because as Forte is basically in PS5, the rumors out there for March of 2020, which feels early for me for a console, but Switch launched in March and it's doing okay. So I don't know, and that's kind of the whole gaming landscape with E3 changing and being less relevant, because you have games launching all year long. You have it's not as much of the holiday push, because you have some big games that just say, I'm not going to go fight against your Call of Duties or your Red Deads or your main holiday push. I'm going to go find some space at my own time and still be just as successful. Division, Anthem if it wasn't broken. But I mean, like, it's true. Like Anthem, there's too many words out there. 11,000 plus written on the issues with that. But that timing is now making E3 less of a main, like, market at E3, launch it in September, do the holidays. Like, you have the spread. So, I mean, if PS5 did go March of 2020, then it's a completely separate issue. I'd be surprised if it did, because you've got. Only reason Forte, I probably wouldn't say PS5, because they're looking at the Ryzen 3000 series chips. Those are the Zen 2 architecture. And that stuff's supposed to launch in July. And if you don't even give, like, a year for the pricing and the production and the build of those, for the prices of the chips themselves to come down to make the system more affordable, you're looking at just a higher price point. So the longer they push it out, the older the architecture and the technology gets, and therefore the price could actually be lower. So between Navi, which isn't even out yet, not even announced, being on that system, and then Zen 2 being the main platform that thing's built on, my hunch is probably going to be like more towards that September, October, November, giving those some more time to get revealed, because I haven't even seen a date for Navi yet, and that's supposed to be in there. I know you're dying at Dizzy over there. It's fine.
Dizzy's killing me right now. He's killing me. But no, I mean that's what it is. I mean, we'll see what happens. I definitely generation. I think we do get our progression. I think that PC and Xbox, I mean PC and consoles in general will get to play together. I think that's happened because like those documents that came out, that was what Bungie vision was. So when I see stuff like that prior to the Sony deal, they want that really resonates with me. That makes me feel good. That's something they were pushing for. So we got that, and then we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. At the end of the day, I know I'm complaining now. I'm confident in D3E. I really am. I know you're like, yo, this is a lot of pressure. They got to do it right. I get your sentiment. You're not wrong on that. I'm confident though. I think they know. They've been around the block to know that D2 was them overplaying their hand, getting what I call it is them getting too cute. They got cute, right? They did everything they needed to do with D1. It's like, how can we get that other gamer who doesn't have all the time, right, to play Destiny and da-da-da-da-da? And they was like, okay, well, let's do this and let's do that. And then the guided game kind of bit. But I think once Forsaken hit, they realized that the problem was Daddy Activision was fighting back because they want astronomical money, even though it did well. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, okay, you know what? Let's take our baby back. We don't like these dudes over here. You go your way. We go our way. We like what we got. And they're going to be fine, man. I'm confident in them boys, man. Every time, one thing about Destiny, when the back is to the wall, they have proven every single time, yo, we can make a quality game. We can give you what you want. And the fact that they're still flying these guys out there, I'm like, okay, they're not cocky. They're still listening. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I think D3 is going to be fine. But
I was like, that's kind of the big things for D3 that I hope, like, different engines so they can be more responsive on stuff like this for like changes, or if something breaks and all those types of things. Definitely stuff that, like, the engine may be good if they go more on the RPG stuff, if there's light versus dark, if there's any of these rumors in there, it's got potential to be amazing as long as they like put it all together, learn from the last like basically it's going to be 6 years by the time the thing comes out. Could be freaking amazing. So no, believe me, I'm like D3 is the one that I'm going to be like, I don't know. Do I have a job? Can I quit my job just so I can cover D3? Like, that's going to be the point where D3 would just be like, all right, this is the one. We're going to be living here for a while. So,
absolutely.
All right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, for Destiny, we've got Iron Banner coming next week, which is going to be fine. I mean, they basically said they said the Iron Burden. It's going away. It's not coming back. It's only going to be a Season 6 experiment. The Wise and Rebuke, you're still going to have 2 more times to earn it. So if you're working for that one, there's some crazy emblem out there if you get 2,500 burdened kills. There's an ornament out there. I think we're going to have the rocket launcher, and I don't know which one it is. I think it's the pulse rifle.
The rocket launcher that can't run with cluster bombs and tracking. Yeah, that one.
It can, actually.
Oh, it can? Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
I've got one, actually.
Oh, you got a was it air bomb and track?
The curated definitely can.
Oh, it's a curated. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't see. I didn't stand corrected.
So Moraga launcher. It's the Scout of the Pulse. I forget which one it is.
That's the Scout. That looks like
Quick,
the
quick touch. I just want to get your thoughts, just because I want to give us a little time, and I we're working on
sure.
time. Spectral blades. These are the things that are going to change.
Let's go.
I don't know when. Maybe it's after the Revelry they'll get this one out, but it's another 3 weeks. So damage reduction out of stealth is going to be reduced from 60% to 52%. In stealth, damage reduction from 62% to 54%. Quick brief, they say previously the super had the highest damage reduction of all the roaming consumers. Shocking. Either in stealth or not, this change reduces Spectral Blades to have the lowest damage reduction of all the roaming supers while stealth is not active, and to be in line with the low end while stealth is active. While stealth, vision through walls, and fast shifty movement, no kidding, it's still a pain in the butt to ever kill him. The super ability can actually have a lot of built-in survivability. This means lower damage reduction means better planning for those attacks. The one that means more is the super duration. Super length out of stealth with no attacking is down 3 seconds. Super length in stealth with no attacking is also down 3 seconds from 26 to 23. With stealth, you have 23 seconds. That is a long time to cover half a map, basically, if you don't attack. So I mean, that's a long time. It's an insanely long amount of time. This is the one that's going to help, though, because they said light melee and cost increased 50%. Now, they said that it wasn't that high in the first place, but basically you won't be able to travel that way, I guess, as easily. It's going to be a little more costly to do so. So running in stealth and then swiping as opposed to swipe to cover ground is going to be a thing. They said they're also looking at Gwaizen Vest, playing with some changes on that one. If we decide to change Gwaizen, you'll see it in Season 7. So Gwaizen won't change for later. This one might be coming whenever they fix the other stuff with Revelry. So what do you think? Real quick on that one. Good, bad?
Yeah, real quick.
Is it enough?
I'm going to tell you what this is. My real quick synopsis. This is probably a very light touch, but they are scared that they don't want to Nova Warp it.
I kind of figured.
That's all this is. So what they're doing is, okay, they know they messed up with Nova. Let's take it back a little. Let's not kill the super completely. And they're going to see how it is, and then they'll adjust again. So that's all I got. Gwizin, I am nervous a little bit about that. I want to see how that's going to play. You know what I mean? And I think you made the point with the light melee attack being what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, they needed to make that energy cost higher, right? So let's see how it plays out. I'm willing to give them a pass on this one. I know they're taking long with this, but they're on that, not bringing out the full band hammer, nuking it to death kind of vibe, and I gotta respect that a little bit. So where you at? I know I think you're on the opposite side.
Pretty much nail on the head. No, I think you nailed it. The damage reduction. If I can nail a super in the face with my hammer, it still gets annoying that some of those don't die. But I guess the roaming ones have such a reduction. It's just annoying that I feel like I take a Dawnblade flying sword and I die as a Titan, but I hit them square in the face with a hammer and they don't die. So yeah, that's always frustrating to me, just because I love my hammers. The super duration, it's insanely long. I did not know it was that long. Gwaizen making it longer. The light melee cost, hopefully giving a little more thought before you just swipe to cover ground. I mean, it seems, as you're saying, they don't want to over nerf, so they're kind of taking it light. But again, as it's taken this long, if they don't do it enough, then how much longer do we have to wait till they fix it? So we'll see. Yeah. But I mean, it's a light touch for this point.
I ain't gonna front E. When I hear that spectral blade sound,
I just run.
Terrified.
I seriously just run.
Terrified.
But outside of that, they got a couple other things. Shout out to Bungie, still doing awesome donation work. So if you got any questions about that, they got some cool prizes, like the one that I wish I just had like $1,000 to. For one, support the charities because they're always awesome, but you get all the above prizes plus participation in the Bungie studio visit with you and 2 guests. That'd be awesome. Like, yeah, you got to fly yourself out there, but if you had $1,000 to donate to a cause and you get to go get a studio, like that's one of those things I'd love to ever get invited. But if not, it'd be awesome to do it. So if you got some money rolling around and you feel like supporting some really good causes that they support, then absolutely go check out their charities and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
That pretty much wraps up Destiny, guys, for the week. Quick run through for the next piece, Division 2. I'm going to let you lead off on that one. I've heard a little bit of kind of streams and things being broken and delays and just kind of what are we at right now? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, well, right now, the latest they had that title update, and they're going through the balancing right now. And basically, the long and short of it is that they are delayed. And I saw a snippet of kind of like. For a
sec. What'd you say?
They look like they're delaying the raid.
Okay.
So basically, right now, their whole thing is they want to get the balance down, and there's a couple of things that they really want to affect. And I'm okay with that. I'm literally okay with that. And the cool thing, what they're doing that I think that actually Bungie needs to take advantage of is they're opening a public test server on the PC
That'd be
version.
so nice.
Yeah, man.
What
So they
happened to
saying, look,
Crucible Labs?
hello. You know what I'm saying? The plan is to structure, the PTS in stages. The public test server say each lasting a few days and focusing on a specific part of the game. We will have surveys and dedicated forum threads together with our traditional general and technical issues forum to cover these topics. So they said that now that it's live, it will include every piece of new content coming in the title update 3 except for the raid. And they said that although the raid is a major piece of the new content, they said the patch also implements several talent buffs and nerfs as well. What I like about this, is they know how important this raid is for them.
Oh,
right?
They can't botch it.
They can't botch it. And I love the caution to make sure balance is right, whether it's PvE, whether it's your all-time favorite Dark Zone. You know what I'm saying? PvP, whatever you got to do. Balance this thing. Get it right. There is no need to rush out a raid when the actual meta of the game may not be at its best. I'm all for that. You know what I mean? So, that's pretty much what it is on this thing. Nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Sonaldo and Dizzy right now with the division talk is hilarious in your chat. They are in fire in your chat right now.
I know. I'm hilarious. Just kind of not touching it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna let them battle it out.
Here's a question for you.
What's up?
We're about a month from launch. Right? Was it like March 15th or something like that? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So this is a different aspect, and this is, I don't know if it's Fireteam chat might have been talking about this. The time separation from launch, and they kind of, where they like staggered the tiers, and they had tier 5 come out. The time versus the launch versus the raid. And something like the raid raised the special nature of the people who grind it out, the ones who are ready for it.
Right.
Versus this one where most people are, and this is kind of an interesting thought. You have the hype of the game come out. You have Division 2 launch. People are getting up to like close to mass spec. Maybe they worked on tier 4. Maybe they're getting up to tier 5. If you keep delaying this raid does for you on the other side, like when the raid launches, do you think people will be like, hey, I got up to max and I'm going to go play something? Like, do you think this is too long? Do you like how Bungie does like the 3 days for the little stuff, like it was 10 days for Forsaken? And that's a quick, hard push and not everybody can get there versus... make it a month and a half or however long everybody gets up there. And then that raid race is a much broader audience. Which one do you prefer? Sonaldo already said it. What do you think?
Listen, I'm all about balance. I've always been that way though. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, I think, let's just be real. Like with the way a Destiny raid is constructed, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like apples to apples kind of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't look at it. And let's be honest, they never really, this is something they've really doing new. They've been unlocking tiers. They've been unlocking strongholds. That's been their bag. You know what I'm saying? This is some whole new thing. Do I like that it's delayed? No, obviously, of course I want to play the raid. Like, of course I want to experience what this thing is. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather a studio err on the side of caution with one of their biggest content and be transparent about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, yo, you letting me know why it's not happening. This is what's going on. And they actually had the video out with the state of the game thing. I liked it. I wish other companies would follow said suit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. And like I said, I already heard some leaks about how it's going to be. And, we kind of little spoiler that, but there will be separated sections, which is dope. It's not going to be 8 players in a room on a hard mode. Dizzy. So it's going to be lit. And like at the end of the day, like I'm not worried about what clowns say because other clowns were investing in a game that I told them was going to lose to this game, Dizzy. And I got the receipts on you. So I'm going in on you now. I'm putting the boot on your neck right now, Dizzy. So I don't want to hear anything he talk about because this the man that bet on another game to beat Division that came out around the same time when I told him what was going to happen. So anyway, I'm done being petty. At the end of the day, listen, do I want it? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But right now, they got to fix these things. They got to get that thing out there. And then when it comes, it comes. I'm cool with it. Division is such a good place right now.
Right back.
Like, go for it. Yeah, Division is in the. I'll talk. We talk my talk. This will be the roast Dizzy section. Shout out to the chat. Shout out Snaldo. I'm on him now. Now he gets my full undivided attention. Now, at the end of the day, man, it's just such a good place right now. People are having so much fun with Division right now. They cool. They chill. They got their feet up right now. You got to worry about your game right now that we're going to talk about next that they don't got the internet for. Let's talk about the game that right now the internet went out and and they couldn't do a stream and they can't tell us when the Cataclysm. No, don't try to go to Borderlands now, bro. Anthem was with you. You had your pom-poms out. I want the same energy you had 2 months ago when I couldn't stop hearing from you. Oh, Ebontis is back. Okay, I can stop roasting.
No, you're good.
I want my roast dizzy section. I was waiting for this, baby.
It is an interesting topic, though, because like as Snaldo said, some people, it's taken too long. They're kind of losing interest. The people who do grind it hard, and if they're waiting for like, hey, I got to tier 4, 5 isn't that much different. I mean, it's going to be a little higher score. Like, kind of that magic would be, it's like, not everybody can no life it for like the first week. But if you go 6 weeks, 7 weeks, like if you almost go like 2 months, depending on how long it goes, you get to a point where some people be like, I've kind of hit the end, like that next piece of content isn't there. It's like that, the magic window I wish would be like 3 weeks for all these things. Just because like you'd give people a little time, you're still within that first month of launch, not everybody's going to no life it, the no lifers are going to get up there. So I mean, there are things to do, but in general, it's like that the time frame on this one seems, and it's kind of an interesting thing to watch. It's like how many stick around on the other side of it. So you got Bungie like full hype, everybody going no life, and then you know it's there. And then the other side, it's like they're taking their time, and they know they have to do this one right, as you said. There's no question. Their first raid, like their first competition into this whole, Bungie's been doing these raids for a long time. We got to try and answer this. We got to do it 100% right. Like there's no way they're like, they're nervous. There's no way they're not, because this is a big deal. Like they have to be. Like they'd be stupid not to. Like they'd be
just.
What?
The way I look at it is, no disrespect to Division. Bungie's just the GOAT when it comes to like certain aspects of game design, the mechanics, and gunplay. You just got to give it up. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what Division does on certain things. So, their best effort, it's probably going to be good when it comes out. But, there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bungie's always going to be here when it comes to certain things. They're going to try to do the best they can do in their space, in that realistic, tactical space. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And I accept it for what it is. But, I mean, that's pretty much all I got on the thing. I want to talk about, I know we ain't got much time. This is going to be a quick one. But I want to get into the Anthem stuff. Since Dizzy's here, we got to talk about Anthem.
Yeah, so I mean, they were supposed to do a live stream. Apparently, their fiber line got cut somehow. I didn't dig too far into this one. I don't know if you dug deep on it.
I dug deep.
So what happened? That's like the brief of what I got. So they were going to delay their stream till next week. So
unfortunately, let me stop being petty. Now, it's really sad because at the end of the day, they had the roadmap. And, we had, I believe, what was the name of this thing? They had the Sunken that was supposed to drop in April. We still don't have no, time frame as to that. Basically, this was supposed to be to explain what's going on. The fiber cut, so they couldn't do the stream. They had a backup line to do it, but apparently when it was tested, it was too shaky to do the live stream. They were having all type of problems with that. And now everything's in jeopardy. Shout out to Paul Tassi with his latest article because, now there's the Sunken is in complete danger of dropping in April. And then my personal thing, which really hurt me, is the Cataclysm. Because, at the end of the day, when is that? Like, we don't know what it is still. We know it's their end-game content.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's where, what is it going to be? When is it going to come out? So now it just seems like everything else now is just pushed back. And it sucks because they kind of needed a boost of good news of just to say, hey, what's been working on, what's going on kind of thing. And listen, as much as I joke and I'm clowning, y'all know I like Anthem. I want this game. I love BioWare. I want them to succeed. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to be out of here. We know what happened with the, the Jason Schreier article that leaked the culture of the studio, how it was development hell. Oh man. No, wait, hold on. I gotta get on. He trying to run away from Anthem. Ain't my bag. No, you had your pom-poms out, sir. We're not gonna do that. I have the video tag. I got the receipts, buddy. You're not gonna back away now. You're gonna own this, you're gonna hold this L, and you're gonna wear it proudly. Now, we're gonna talk about the road to recovery for you. basically they got to reinvest. They got to listen to what the cool thing about the Schreier expose is. It showed indecision on BioWare. It showed this. They waited like what 5-6 years. They couldn't. You know what it really showed me? Ian? It really wasn't EA as much as I thought it was.
Like EA had some pieces, but BioWare had a lot of pieces to it. Like
right. The only thing I give EA is EA had Frostbite, right? And Frostbite, they want to push on people because they're being cheap. They don't want to pay for an Unreal Engine, right? So I get that. Now here's the mistake they made. BioWare says, oh, let's be proactive and switch to it so we can learn it now, right? The difference between them and a Respawn is, look what Respawn did with the Titanfall 2 and the Apex. They didn't switch. Those are not on Frostbite.
Yep.
Those stayed with Unreal, doing what they know. And it's just sad. It's just really sad. Then you had the whole Casey leaving, then Casey coming back. There's just, the good thing, I will say this, the good thing about exposés like that is that everyone sees your business. Everyone sees your skirt. You know what I'm saying? As far as what's going on in your house. It's out there. They know they have to change. You know what I'm saying? The question is, obviously, is it going to be enough? And the way I envision it, which is what I predicted, it's going to be a situation where Anthem 1, towards the end of it, it'll be like how Division 1 played out.
That's
right?
That's what I honestly expect. They need to do a 1.8. They need to be quiet for a while. They need to basically develop what they want and basically also be developing Anthem 2 at the same time.
Yeah. Snaldo, I got to disagree with you, buddy. I don't think it was 100% EA, buddy. You got to read that Jason Schreier stuff.
There are certain things, because I talked to my brother about it too, because he's a huge Anthem fan. I mean, there are points where it's like, Anthem not being called Anthem before the launch of like E3 in 2017 is insane. Like not having a name. The fact that they wouldn't talk, they literally, and this is the point where like BioWare is like, they would not acknowledge the word Destiny. You could not say the word Destiny in their studios. But I mean, that's one of those where people like the idea. Some people like the reviews were saying it was developed in a bubble, and you literally see those words, and you're like, it was. So I mean, there's things like that where it's like a fear to talk about another game and not learn from them. There's a lack of vision where there was flying, there wasn't flying, there was flying. Like those type of giant game changes, much less like having it called Beyond and then not being able to get the trademark and having to create lore for Anthem. It's like the writers, the creators, like the programmers building systems that like, I mean, if you spend like 6 months on like a flying system, then you dump it and then you got to be like 6 months later, then you got to go create it again. And it's like, so it's like I just want to like, but on EA's side, like they said they're using Frostbite. I think that push was actually from EA. And then even my brother was telling me when he dug deep as well, like when it comes to like the engine mechanics, like Frostbite, like building the engine to work for your game, there were specific engineers that were like Frostbite engineers. And he said at one point EA ripped them to FIFA.
Yes.
So that's the point where EA did screw them to a point of like, well, the people who are literally building the base level code in an engine to work for your game ripped EA ripped them to FIFA, and that's a huge detriment to
that's a
BioWare,
huge deal
because those are specific engineers, which is like, I mean, but that's like a piece where it's like BioWare had like so many screw ups, but it's like, was it all EA? Absolutely not. Was it all BioWare? No. And I honestly would probably lean it more towards BioWare. EA had a couple things where like they were rough, but I mean, BioWare's like magic did not come together, and that's a point to where they're learning a hard lesson. And I think, as you said, like, or my brother described it for like Final Fantasy 14 or something, where they literally like you can't shut the game down at this point, but they basically have to pull to Division 1 and be like, yeah, we're not going to release much for a while. And honestly, at this point, I don't even think they should do Cataclysm. I know they probably have to. I know they kind of have to. But I don't think it's going to live up to anything now, because in like what they made in about 9 months, the gameplay we have like a shell of like systems.
Of what?
We have a really cool flying mechanic.
Was supposed to be. Yeah. And how good the flying is, and think about how late that got put in. I was amazed by it.
Right. Yeah. So it's like those, like what we have in the game mechanics wise is insanely awesome. For the fun part. Okay. Yep.
Oh, you got your appointment.
Yep.
People's
so,
yeah, we got to wrap up.
If you want to do your raps, I'm going to do 2 seconds and I'll be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. I'll talk. Here's the deal. Dizzy, I'm with you on this part. Like, at the end of the day, these guys had so long to make the game. And what needed to happen was I don't want to call it dilly dallying, but they were just so undecisive. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame EA for that. If I had to put a ratio on it, y'all, I'm going 70% BioWare problem and 30% EA with the Frostbite engine. So that's where I'm at with it. I definitely think, you can't take that long and develop it. You can't be so undecided on the littlest systems and all these different things. And if flying's going to be in the game, and if it's not going to be in the game, and that's all BioWare managed. These guys are talking about leaving meetings and nothing was getting solved. That has nothing to do with EA. So look, it is what it is. Sad situation. Hopefully we get Cataclysms, we get, all this other stuff, and they look at, Destiny, look at Division, like the Drifter said, and learn from it, and put forth. I think, like I said, them being exposed allows Anthem 2 to really get to where it needs to be. But look, and what you call he's got his tech guy there. He's got to get his internet fixed.
I got to try and get my internet fixed, guys. Quick wrap up for me. Ebontis everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You guys know where to find me. I stream it all. It's EBONTIS. It's hard to miss.
Yes,
my internet's probably about to die. So you want to wrap up real quick, and then we'll get this thing done.
Yes, sir. LordCognito, Twitter. You already know what it is. Chat has been lit. Iron Lord Podcast this Sunday, 1 p.m. Cognito comes back to hosting. Please check us out. It's going to be fun. A lot of fun topics. Yo, last word was lit. Y'all, thank y'all for coming over for Twitch. Looks like this is what we're going to do. And Ebontis, once he gets the upload going, it's going to be lit, y'all. Woo. This was a fun one, man.
All right, guys. Well, for this week, that is the last word.
The last word.
Hold on. We'll try that again. All right. So we're going to do. All right. 3, 2, 1. The last word.
Last word.
Okay. Our timing's terrible. We'll work on that. All right. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.